How's it going, everyone? Welcome to GBALLVision. Today we have a new knife to check out coming in from Kershaw. While we get started, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is today. Kershaw and ZT both have had quite a few new releases here at the end of 2024 and at the beginning of 2025. And this is going to be one of those new 2025 releases. We are looking at the Kershaw Launch Iridium. And I will have this link down below along with all the other new ZT and Kershaw knives. They are available, and they are available in a few different areas that I could see. We are perfectly centered up there, and the special thing about this compared to the original, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, this is going to be an out-the-side automatic. The original Kershaw Iridium is a crossbar lock knife, and that was made in China. Kershaw has knives made in the US and China. This is going to be a US Kershaw Iridium. We are looking at Magnacut Steel and a very beautiful stonewashed, tumbled, spear point-like drop point blade. We have this nice topped swedge here that dies off in the last quarter, and that looks really good. Nice sharpening choil there. Going to have similar ergonomics or the exact same ergonomics as the original here. You have this nice flat where you can choke up right behind that edge if you need a little bit more control. And our aluminum handles aren't completely flat. They do have a little bit of a contour to them. We are looking at aluminum with steel liners and an aluminum backspacer. And we do have a deep carry clip here that's going to be reversible. Very nice. We have a lanyard hole back there for the lanyard fans. Nice texturing done on the button there. As far as the action goes, I would say this is good. Nothing to gripe about from me. There is a variance I've noticed. I haven't handled a ton of out-the-side autos, maybe 8 or 10 or so, and they're all slightly different. Even ProTech to Microtech and just everything in between, they all feel a little bit different. But I would say, doing the test I like to do, which is just grab it and hold it with 2 fingers and see what kind of happens. And this has a very good reverberation through it. So pretty good springs in there, in my opinion. Is it the most powerful? That I can't tell you, but is it satisfying and is it good? Yeah, I would give it the A-OK in the department of the action. So what are we looking at here in regards to size? 8 inches on the dot for our overall length. We're looking at 3 3/8 inches of cutting edge and 3.5 inches of total blade. We'll bring a couple of comparisons out here. The Kaiser drop bear up top and the Benchmade bug out on the bottom. And you'll see it's quite a bit bigger than both of those knives, which I would consider average length. So let's put it up against the Vosteed Raccoon and the Kaiser Militol. And this is the full-size Militol. I would say it's a little bit larger than the Raccoon is, and very, very close to the Militol. I would say all the blade of the Militol, but just a little less in the handle, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And here is the original Kershaw Iridium. And I bought this I bought it sometime in 2024, actually. And it is an extremely solid knife for like $40. Thumb studs, D2, crossbar lock, aluminum. We have a copper backspacer here, and then the deep carry clip that is going to be reversible. And surprisingly, that's recessed here where this one isn't. Just a interesting note. To me, not a huge deal either way. Plenty of room on the new one's side to get that in and out of the pocket, which we'll check here in a moment. But that is the original there, Chinese made. Kershaw does a great job on their D2. I would say they do a great job across the board on the steels that they use. Whether it's their Chinese-made knives or their USA-made knives, anything that I've experienced has been very, very good. Now, I don't have a ton of experience with their USA-made knives, but I have heard nothing but good things and seen nothing but good things about the Kershaw USA-made line of knives. This is going to carry pretty deep, but you will have a little bit poking out of the pocket there. Not a bad thing. That gives you a little something extra to grab a hold of to pull this knife out of your pocket. Great retention. That is a great clip in my opinion. I could do without the Kershaw there on the clip, but not the end of the world. Not a deal breaker there. We do have it in 2 spots here, so I'd like to see it in one or the other. I myself would have a logo done and put it on the pivot, but that's just being very nitpicky. Some people do not care about that at all. It is just something I like to bring up to make a note of, but not a deal breaker by any means. Now, what is going to be a deal breaker for some is that you just simply are not allowed to have autos where you live. You're not allowed to carry them. You should be able to own them. It's just a matter of not being able to carry them in public. And other people and places have blade restriction laws. So, or blade length restrictions. So that is also going to come into effect here as well. If you can't have 3 inches and over where you live, this is going to be, obviously included in that as well. So kind of a double stake here. But there are a lot of places now where autos are completely fine and there's no blade length restriction. But there are places still like that in the good old USA, and I feel for all of you. Let's go ahead and check the weight on this. We'll go ahead and get our brand new scale out here and see what we are looking at in terms of weight. What's going to be interesting is I wonder what the difference is between the two. This one feels a little lighter. Let's say 3 ounces. Oh, woo, baby. Look at that, screwing me over at the end. And we're looking at 88 grams. So 3.1 ounces or 3 ounces sounds better to me. Let's see about this one. It's heavier, 3.3. Ooh. So it is a little bit heavier. We're talking like 6 grams there. So a little bit heavier, and you can actually, I can feel it. Even though it's very minimal, but that's just the professional in me. Just recently surpassed the 3,500 video mark, so pretty impressive on the amount of videos that are on the channel. My dog just hit the stand. We're looking at 0.47 for our handle thickness. We'll check the blade stock of both and behind the edge. Sorry about that. We had to get the old Paparuski off of the stand. So let's check our blade stock here. Pretty thin on the handle. Coming in at 118 thousandths for the USA made version. Kick this thing out here, and it's pretty thin. It looks like it's pretty thin. So let's see what we got here behind the edge. And coming in there around 22 right there at the back end. And about 25 up there on the front end going towards the tip. So it thickens up a little bit there. Let's check this one and see what we're looking at. So that one's a little thinner at 105 thousandths. And let's check the behind the edge on this one. So a little bit thinner. That one's coming in at 17 thousandths there. And that could be my hold here, but let's go ahead and we'll see what kind of edge came on this out of the box. Let's go ahead and we'll use some telephone book paper here and check this edge. Oh, buttery, buttery. Look at that. Now that is an edge. Yes. Woo. Man, and it's in all of our best interest that Kershaw does do well, that ZT does do well. That's my opinion anyway. If you're rooting against these companies, then I would say you're partially the problem. If you don't like a design, that's one thing. But You know, we should be rooting for these companies to be putting out affordable, affordable knives, affordable U.S. knives, premium knives on both sides of the spectrum. And, I'm glad that Kershaw is finally, taking that step here. This thing has a beautifully wicked edge on it right out of the box. A lot of people will enjoy that sharpening choil. That was another plus on the original as well. Very nice sharpening choil. I would say the USA version has a little bit better sharpening choil in my opinion. Let's go ahead and we'll check this lock and make sure this thing is going to stay locked up when it's open. And we can go ahead and check both, but we did check centering on this, and good solid lock up there. Nothing side to side, no up and down. Check this a couple of times. Shouldn't have any issues, but we shall see. And this knife will not open unless you hit that button. So another thing to make note of. Yeah, I don't foresee any issues. Everything feels very good in there. Let's go ahead and check the crossbar one. I've already checked it, but just for fun. Very good. Very good. Nice and strong. Very good. Yeah, I like this. You'll have to let me know down in the comments. Are you rooting for Kershaw and hoping that they put out a wide range of pricing and knives? I hope they come a hellin' in 2025. They started out and continued to do very well in 2024. I hope that continues and carries on here in 2025. And so far, it seems like they are heading in a very, very good direction. Let me know what you think of Kershaw. Let me know what you think of the brand spanking new launch Iridium in Magnacut and USA made to boot. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It helps push the video to more people. And if you're new to my channel here and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe. I release daily videos just like this. Ring the bell. That'll notify you anytime I do release new content. And I'll throw a couple of new videos up on your screen that YouTube is recommending you go check out right now. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.